that, you can only take marriage and having kids two different ways. I understand why Z, the kids part, is a bit too much for Z, because she's kind of focused on her career. So that would just be kind of a way down on your career, because you and Tom are both working. Tom is probably going to finish. It's probably going to take Tom months to finish Crowded Room. So no one will be home to watch them. I don't think anyone is available to be a babysitter every day. It would just be a way down. So here's my proposal to Z. Not a marriage proposal, but just an idea for Z. Z, I want to know something. When can you happily say that you can lay low for a bit? That you've done everything you needed to do. You've been in the spotlight for all this year. Maybe it's time to kick your feet up for a little bit and come back a new person. Well, come back better than ever, I should say. Not saying that Zendaya has any flaws, but it's always good to work on your craft and things. But thing is with Z is that I feel bad for her, because she really doesn't. It feels like she's always working, and mental health is a very big pain in the tail to deal with. And that plus an entire 140 million fan base behind you, that's probably a lot of pressure, even though I think Z knew the pressure and she knew the stakes when she went into acting. So I don't think it would have made much of a difference to her, but you gotta understand, Z, that mental health is very important. You can't just be in the spotlight and expect it to all go well, because if you make a move too fast, your entire career could come crashing down, So I would say, Z, once you are finished with the challenge, with the challenger, I would say, what about you take a rest for a little bit? Maybe a good till next year. Maybe next year, July, maybe. You be out the spotlight for a good year and a half or so, and you can work on your craft without having to deal with filming and all that. So here's my proposal to you, Z. Please, after you finish the challengers, don't go on to another project. Lie low for a bit. Do what Tom is doing. Take a break from the internet, from social media, from the spotlight. And don't work on your career. Work on you. Focus on your needs. Focus on your family's needs. I know you could probably do that all while you're doing your career, but dude, that is probably a lot more stressful. So Z, proposal to you. When you finish the challenger, don't go to another project. You're going to overwork yourself. What about you let yourself catch up, slow down the overworkedness before the overworkedness can get to you. You make the first move, not the overworking. Because Z, you're in the spotlight 24/7, and let's be honest, most of it is for your stunning looks, or people are literally just leaking photos of you and Tom, which I know some Tom Daya fans would be kind of sad if Z took a break as well, because that means, well, they kind of seem to be a bit more comfortable with public pressure when it comes to relationship building. If they ain't, I am truly sorry if I said this wrong, but yeah. If the last two photos tell me anything, they have gotten a bit too comfortable. I think they've just given up on damage control, to be honest. What happened to damage control Z? What happened to damage control Tom? What happened to him? What did you lock him in? Did you lock them inside of your souls? But yes, I do understand why Z is keen on getting married, but is not keen on the kids part. Which, let's be honest, being a mother is no easy task. Even though Tom could probably watch the kid, but you gotta understand that Z is focused on her career. And she is in the middle of filming something. And when you're pregnant, once you have it, the baby, you have to take some weeks off of work to recover. And you know Z ain't going to be happy. And I don't want to see Zendaya with a knife. I don't want to see Tom with a stab wound. So, Z, my proposal to you is after you finish your little tennis project, whatever it's called, take a break. Take a mental break. Work on yourself. Work on the things that you need to work on. Stop being so worried about your career. It will do fine. Tom's fans support him Tom's fans have already said that they will support him if he takes a break or not. Because they understand that mental health and health itself is very important. Because let's be honest, we all know it. We've all seen it. You've been working yourself to the bone for like 12 years. And that's probably a lot of pressure. And I know taking a break is no easy job because you don't know the reaction is going to be from your fans, because Z has a pretty loyal fan base and they will not accept anyone coming after their queen, I should say. I would love to see that. I would love someone to make Queen Zendaya a movie, bro. I would totally watch that. Someone get it in the works. Someone contact Z and say, hey, your fans have been calling you a queen of fashion and all that. What about we make their dreams a reality and make you into one? Into a movie. So yeah, that might be fun. But yeah, Z, when you finish the Challengers, don't go to another project. I'm telling you now, it's not worth it. I'm not saying that you need to quit acting. But Z, you've been working yourself to the bone. Tom has too. You both have been working your asses off for I don't know how many years, but you guys have been working yourselves to the bone. Tom has not given up on his career, but he is wanting to take a break. Because he knows that mental health is important. And Z, when you are in that dark place in mental health from overworking and dealing with other things, you are not going to be in the happy state you are in. I'm telling you, once you enter that place of darkness, it's pretty hard to fight your way out. It's pretty hard to fight your way out. Because you have to make the right moves. You got to make everything good. I know, Z, you're a Virgo. That you are kind of hard on yourself. But that's what breaks are for. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop working yourself thinking that if you go, something is going to happen to your career. Z, you have the most loyalist fan base. You have the most loyalist fan base within celebrity careerings, except for a few selected people. You have the most loyal fan base. They will support you whatever you decide to do. If you take a break, they'll support you. Don't think your fans are going to hate you just because you make a simple, break. Because they understand that mental health is important. You have the most loyalist fan base out of almost anyone on Instagram. Even though some people probably have more. But you have some of the most loyalist fans. I can go onto the Zendaya hashtag, and there are so many people being so loyal. And your fans will always say something if something is wrong. And that's what type of fans you need. You need someone who will be real with you. Just like Tom is probably being real with you behind the scenes of all this. He's probably being real. He is not being biased. Well, he might be a little bit biased, but he's not being biased for the most part. He's real with you. You have someone who can be real with you, just like Peter and MJ. MJ found someone who could be real with her. And so did Peter. If Peter makes the wrong move, then MJ can call him out. And that's the type of relationship you need. If you and Tom are thinking about getting married, that is the type of thing you need. Because if you guys get divorced and this entire thing ends, it will be a bit of a relief, so I don't have to go into my work and have to make videos on you guys. But I don't want this to stop. Tom and Zendaya have made what I do now. I clown these two just because I can, and no one is going to call me out on it because I've already addressed that any comments or things I say towards them are all jokes. If some people take it the wrong way, I understand. Some comments I say can be pretty offensive to most people. But I don't mean anything by the comments. I'm not saying, like, if I said Zendaya was a whore, I don't mean that. Or if I said, or if I said Tom's a bitch, he's not. It makes so much sense to me because, like, I do this because I can, and no one will call me or say, hey, this is a bit out of line, because they know it's joking. But, hey, if it's a bit too out of line, I send a specific person, my editor, that's not really an editor, but he's kind of, I send him my videos for review, and he will tell me what I need to cut out. He's the person that I can have so he can be real with me, and he said, is this good or whack? And if he thinks one of the lines are a bit too out of line, I will happily go back into my editor and cut it out. Same thing with Yuzi. If you feel like something is out of line and your fans call you out on it, understand them. Understand that it was out of line and apologize. You have the most loyalist fan base. They will understand. Unless you make something pretty wrong, then something might happen. But dude, take your breaks. Take everything. You've been focused on your career for so long. And I'm surprised you haven't taken more breaks, because dealing with fame is pretty hard at the age, would be pretty hard at the age of like 15, or I would say, or the age of 16. even though you've dealt with fame before and you figured out a way to deal with it, even though you know how to deal with fame, that is not going to help you when you have when you start getting into the big leagues, because already people expect the most of you. Even though you have a good stylist, people expect the most from you. They don't expect the most from Tom, because let's be honest, Tom only just wears a tuxedo to every premiere he goes to. Or a leather jacket or something, but you know. But Z, when it comes down to you, Jacob, and Tom, you are the most fashionable out of all of them. So, people expect the most from you. And that is probably hella stressful to deal with. So Z, my proposal is take a break. Take a break for however long you want. If it's 2 years, 3 years, then take your break. You don't need to be so focused on your career. Dude, I don't even upload every day. Some days I do, but I don't. Because I have other things to be doing than YouTube. And I'm not doing YouTube for the money. I'm doing it because I can, and YouTube is allowing me to. I can make a variety of content, and nobody would care because no one watches my videos. And that is very detrimental. I have 31 subscribers, but I get no views on my video at all unless I make something popular, you know? But yeah, Z, take your break. Don't go to another project. You decline that job offer right as it comes in, because, Z, I'm being real with you. When you go into that mental dark place, because you are not going to have the same self-confidence that you have now. So I'm telling you, I would catch up to it before it catches up to you. So yeah, take your break, Z. I've been doing this for so long. But yeah, see you guys next time.